In this episode of American Patriot, I want to teach you a new word. It's going to keep your kids from becoming one of these monsters. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And just to up the suspense level, I'll tell you that it begins with a N and it ends with an O. Well, just kind of let the cat out of the bag, didn't I? Can I at least interest you in an ever so slightly used, totally rad intro? Thought so.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
How's it going, fellow patriots? Glad to see you again. When I was young, I remember hearing people talk about spoiling your kids. They would say, "Don't do it, don't do it." They would smile, laugh, and chuckle about the whole ordeal. And everyone thought, I want my kids to have more than I did when I was young. And we wondered why. Why wouldn't you spoil your kids? Now that I'm a parent, I've learned why. And I've seen the product of kids being spoiled. And I know you have too. When kids are raised with a certain level of possessions or a certain level of activity, they come to expect that for the rest of their life. Think about a young boy that has every toy known to man. He gets into his teen years and his parents buy him his first car. It might be a Camaro or a Mustang. Maybe he's one of the fortunate ones that got a Corvette. He rocks along, does okay while he's on his parents' dime, thinks he's the big man on the block. Now let's say he just turned 20 and he's moved out, he's got a place of his own. His Camaro ended up wrapped around a tree, so he's had to go out and buy his own car. Now he's always been used to the ladies checking out his pristine ride, but the 73 Ford Pinto just isn't cutting it for some reason. Maybe a new set of dubs would help the cause. This is literally the first time I've ever used that word. How well do you think he's going to adapt to that situation? Not very well. So he's had all he can take because, by golly, he just deserves a fancier car. So he goes out and buys a fancy car that's far outside of his price range, puts himself right smack dab, that's a southern term, right smack dab in financial turmoil, all just to keep up with his usual way of life. I've even seen this with guys that are already married. They just can't take it anymore. They have to have a brand new truck, a new bass boat, a new Dillon minigun. Now they're not only affecting themselves, they've brought their family along for the ride. So what's the really big question we're trying to answer here? Who would ever pick a bass boat over a minigun? Spoiled kids tend to think the world revolves around them, and for the most part it usually has. Their parents have always catered to their every need, and this is where they find their sense of entitlement. Speaking of catering to your children, our youngest child is the pickiest eater out of all of our children. It's hard to find anything that he likes other than PB&J sandwiches and pizza, and I'm right there with him on the pizza. But you just can't eat it every day, at least when you're a kid. So like all good parents, we cook him exactly what he wants each time, while the rest of the family eats the originally prepared meal, right? Wrong! Absolutely not. Aren't you listening? That would immediately tell him he gets everything he wants when he wants it. We really don't want to instill that thought process. He has a choice. He can either eat the meal that's been prepared, or he cannot eat at all. And when he gets hungry enough, he will eat what's on the table. Most of the time. Moral of the story, we do not need to be short order cooks for our kids. So we're going to practice this new word and see how you do. So when your kid says, "Mom, I really don't like this. Can you cook me something else?" Let me think about that. No, there's that word. You're at the grocery store and your kid wants the toy or the candy bar that they always strategically place right in your path. Stinking marketing gurus. And you say, "No, there's that word again." You have plenty of other toys at home, you know. The other 1,776 toys you talked me into before I watched AP's amazing video and learned this new magnificent word. And no, that wasn't a random number. Your teenager says, Dad, I need that new supercharged sports car to drive to work. No. I'm not getting the hang of using this word. I'm thinking a 700 horsepower sports car may lead to your early demise. We strongly purpose to not spoil our kids, but we do still want to reward them for things that they do right. We want them to know while not guaranteed, good things can happen when you put effort in the right places. And I will say we're very blessed in this situation. Our kids are very grateful for everything they receive. If we go out to eat or even just bring home pizza, at some point in the evening they'll say, hey, thanks Mom and Dad for bringing home pizza, or thanks for taking us out to eat. Man, that really does the heart good. I don't know if we can really take any type of credit for that. As far as parenting, it just seems to be ingrained in them. Obviously, they can see with their own eyes that there are a lot of people in this world that don't have the same things we do. So maybe that's kind of brought it about. I'm not sure. But this I do know because I've seen it. The kids that are spoiled will never be grateful for anything. Nothing will ever be good enough for them, and they will spend the rest of their life chasing empty desires. So guys, don't spoil your kids. Don't do it. Don't do it. Let's not set up our kids for failure down the road, because that would just be un-American. So let's do this right, guys. Let's rise above. Love you guys. Patriot out.